Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sid. It's nice to meet you. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. If you've clicked on today's video, you probably are thinking about getting this done, you've had this done, or maybe you're just nosy. That's cool with me. I'm cool with all three. But as you guys can tell by the title of today's video, I'm gonna be talking about my boobs. I'm gonna be talking about my breast reduction journey. I'm about a month and a half post-op. So only recently I've started to kind of feel like myself again, you know, wanting to do my makeup and get dressed up and actually sit down and film. So that's basically what we're doing today, is we're gonna be talking about my breast reduction journey. Also, you guys, I hate to point this out, but my part is not straight, so let's just ignore that. I'm just gonna try and tilt my head back so you guys can't really see. Anyways, there is a lot to cover, so feel free to grab a snack, grab your cup of tea, get comfy. I'm sitting on the floor today, super comfy, chill vibes. So yeah, let's just jump right into this. So this video, I'm mainly going to be covering the process of getting the actual surgery done and then what the day of the surgery actually looked like. I do plan on filming a part 2 to this that kind of covers the recovery because I feel like that needs its own video because there's just so much to talk about. All right. So what did I get done? So I got a breast reduction and a breast augmentation. So basically that just means that they reduce the size of your breasts and then also lift them up. When did I get the surgery done? So my surgery date was on November 10th. And it's currently January 1st. Oh my gosh, I'm way more than a month and a half post-op. I'm almost 2 months post-op. That's crazy. It's already January 1st. So I guess Happy New Year, you guys. It's only now clicking. Way more than a month and a half post-op. So on January 10th, I will be 2 months post-op. So I got my surgery done in Toronto. If you've watched any of my other videos or you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you guys know that I am from Toronto. So that's where I got the surgery done. The surgeon that I went with, his practice is actually in Vaughan. So that's where his office is. That's where I go for all of my like follow-up appointments, my pre-op appointment, everything like that. But he actually is one of the main surgeons at 2 hospitals in the west end of Toronto, in Brampton. So that's where he actually does all of his surgeries. So my surgery was done at Peel Memorial Hospital. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And that's in Brampton. So the timeline of the actual surgery or the process to get this done was actually very long. Coronavirus definitely did not help. So when I had originally gone in for my consultation with the surgeon, they had already done a good job at kind of setting my expectations that this surgeon was super busy. Like I said, he's one of the main surgeons that works for a huge trauma center here in Toronto, so he's always really busy. So initially the wait was going to be like 9 months to a year, and I had originally gone to see him in May of 2019. So I was thinking, okay, that's fine, I'll just wait a year, you know, next spring, summer-ish, I'll be getting the surgery. But then coronavirus hit and everything got pushed back because there was a lot of emergency surgeries. They were canceling a lot of surgeries, so it was kind of a nightmare. I was kind of persistent and just kept calling and asking if they had, you know, an OR time yet, if there was any updates. So I don't know if that helped. I think that definitely helped. I don't know how much it helped, but I know it definitely did. So yeah, I basically just called kind of around the end of October. And lucky enough, they were able to find an operating time, and then I got the surgery done November 10th. So all in all, it probably took about a year and a half from the time that I went to my first consultation until I actually got the surgery done. So it is a very long process. I have watched other videos on YouTube of people that have gotten breast reductions and they get their surgery done within a couple months, but the specific surgeon that I wanted, that was just the waiting time and I was willing to wait. So it worked out. Like, I wasn't in like a huge rush. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind if you are thinking about getting this done. I don't know what the wait times would look like if you're in, you know, the US or a different country. But for Toronto, Canada, for the surgeon that I went with, that was how long I had to wait. So the process of getting the surgery done, I'll kind of touch on that a little bit, because a lot of times people don't really know how to go about, you know, getting surgery done, what to ask for, things like that. So basically what I did is I went to my family doctor. I know a lot of people these days don't really have family doctors, but you can go to the walk-in clinic as well, I'm pretty sure. And basically in Canada, we have something called OHIP, which is amazing, our free healthcare, partly because our taxes are so high here. But basically, if you are getting a reduction done and it's for medical purposes, I think they have to take at least 50% off for it to be covered under OHIP. Don't quote me on that, but I heard that somewhere. I forgot to ask my surgeon, but I'm going to ask him next time I go to my appointment. But basically, in order for the surgery to be covered under OHIP, meaning that you don't pay for the surgery, they have to take at least 50%. And basically what you have to do is go to your family doctor, go to your walk-in clinic, and you need them to write you a requisition for the procedure. The requisition is basically a form that states why you need it done, and the fact that it is for medical purposes. So for example, my reduction was because I was having severe shoulder, upper and lower back pain. So that was basically what was on the requisition, and your family doctor or the walk-in clinic will fax or either email that form over to the actual surgeon's office, and then the surgeon's office will basically take it from there. I had to be pretty persistent with my family doctor. He's not very easy to convince. So I had asked him probably about 3 times for this requisition, and he always, you know, kind of pointed to alternatives, like trying to change your diet, trying to go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. And I was, but you know, weight loss, you can't choose where the weight comes off of. You can't say, okay, I'm specifically gonna lose weight in my boobs or my butt or my thighs. Like, it doesn't really work like that. So that was not really working for me. And I also found that because I am so short, I'm only 4'11", I just felt that I was so disproportioned. Like, my chest was just huge and I was like this, I'm like this little tiny human. So that was another reason why I really wanted the surgery done. So anyways, after convincing my family doctor, he finally wrote the requisition, faxed it over to the surgeon, and then basically I went for my consultation, and that was pretty much the process. Originally, my family doctor had referred me to a different surgeon, and I had looked her up online. I honestly don't remember her name, but she had terrible reviews. A lot of people were saying she was rude, she didn't really have a lot of bedside manners, she didn't listen to what you wanted. So I was just not even willing to waste my time to go into a consultation with her. I was just like, no. And then my boyfriend's mom referred this doctor over, and I was just like, yes, thank God, because I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't even know how to go about like finding a surgeon. Like, yeah, you can just Google them, but it's always a lot nicer and a lot more comforting if someone you actually know and trust says, hey, I really like this doctor, I think he's gonna do a good job. So my doctor's name was Dr. Cratchton. I'll leave his name down below, but that's the doctor that did my surgery. He was amazing. His entire staff is amazing. I cannot say enough good things about him. So yeah, 10 out of 10. highly recommend. I am so happy with my results. Of course, I'm still healing and they're still swollen, but already I'm just so in love. So yeah, I love Dr. Cratchit, his entire staff. The process could not have gone any smoother. Like, they're so nice. They are the nicest people. So my first consultation, like I said, I had originally gone for that in May of 2019. And basically, I just went in, I met with the doctor, he took some measurements and basically told me if I was a good candidate for this type of surgery or if, you know, I needed a different type of surgery, etc. But he said, no, you know, a breast reduction and augmentation, you're a perfect candidate because of the proportion of my body, how saggy they were, how unproportioned they were, like in general, like one was bigger than the other, like significantly bigger. So yeah, he basically took measurements and everything like that. And then the next time that I actually went in to see him was like a week before the surgery. So yeah, that was basically the first consultation. So after that first consultation, it was really just a waiting game in terms of when an operating time was going to come available, etc. So the second time that I saw Dr. Cratchit was in October of 2020, which was a week before, or like a week and a half before my surgery day. So from the time that I actually got the call saying that you're approved for surgery, we have our operating time, until the actual surgery day, it actually happened really quickly. I think it was like 2 weeks or like a week and a half between when I actually got the call and when I was going in for surgery. So I was kind of thankful for that because I didn't really have a lot of time to like psych myself out or to like second guess anything. It kind of just happened all so quickly. So yeah, the second time I saw him was end of October, and basically during that appointment we just went through, you know, the measurements again. We went through any last minute questions I had, what the recovery would look like, how to prepare for the surgery, and things like that. So preparing for the day of surgery, I did have to do a couple things, and I'm going to share those with you guys because I wasn't aware of some of these and they kind of threw me off guard. So the first thing I needed to get was a bra. It didn't have to be like a surgical bra. I basically just went to Walmart and got a sports bra, so something that's really supportive, and you also need something that zips in the front. Unless you have someone to help you like all the time, I would recommend getting one that zips in the front. It's just a lot more comfortable because you're going to be, after the surgery, you're going to be laying on your back. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes if like the hook is on my back and I'm laying down, it kind of digs in. So I would recommend getting one that zips in the front, and also like a sports bra, something that's going to be tight, not uncomfortably tight, but tight to the point where you feel secure, like nothing is going to be moving around or anything like that. So that was the first thing, a sports bra. The second thing I needed to do was take off my acrylics, which was the part that kind of shocked me because I had just gotten my nails done, but I didn't realize that when you get surgery, they need to see the blood flow in your fingers and your toes. So I needed to take my acrylics off, so I was kind of sad about that, but it was fine. The third thing was I couldn't eat anything past midnight the day before the surgery. And then the fourth thing was that I had to take a shower with antiseptic soap the night before and the morning of my surgery. So yeah, that was basically all that I needed to get. In terms of extra things that I got, just because I thought they would make me a little bit more comfortable. So I made sure to get pajamas that buttoned up in the front. I didn't own any before. I only had like t-shirts or like shirts that I had to put over my head. So I would definitely recommend getting 2 or 3 pairs of pajamas that you can just button up in the front. It's gonna make your life so much easier. I also got a neck pillow as well for when I wasn't in bed. If I was sitting like on the couch or something, I had a neck pillow and that really helped. So yeah, those are just the extra things that I got as well. The day of surgery. So my surgery was scheduled for 8 a.m. So I had to be there for 6 a.m. You have to be at the hospital 2 hours before your scheduled surgery time. So like I mentioned, I had taken a shower with the antiseptic soap the night before and then the morning of. Antiseptic soap is basically like a wash that you just wash your body with, and it takes off all of the bacteria. So it kind of just reduces the chance of infection, like bacteria getting into your wound, or obviously they're going to be opening you up, so inside your body. I just got it from Shoppers. Honestly, I personally think it smells terrible, but yeah, that's antiseptic soap. So I took a shower with that the morning of. I basically got in the car. They tell you to wear really loose fitting clothes. So I had just gotten like a really soft like velvet tracksuit from Walmart that just zipped up in the front. It had the matching sweatpants, so I was comfortable. And then they also tell you to bring slip-on shoes, or like shoes that you can easily get your feet into. So I just wore like my slip-on bands, and that was fine. Because of COVID, no one could come into the hospital with me, like even into the waiting room. So I basically just left everything with my mom. I left my phone, everything. Oh, also one more thing I forgot. In terms of preparation for the surgery, you have to take all of your piercings out. So I have these piercings, but I also had second holes, and my second holes have always given me trouble, and I knew that the second I took them out, they would close up, and surely they did. So I need to go get my second holes pierced again now, which is fine, but that's just something to keep in mind. Sorry, side note. So back to the day of the surgery. So like I said, I left all of my valuables basically with my mom. I just took in my health card and a mask, and that was pretty much it, and like a little crossbody. So, you know, I hugged my mom bye. She was kind of emotional. She was sad she couldn't come in with me, but yeah, I said bye to her. And then I went into the hospital. They did COVID screening. I basically signed in, and then I went to the waiting room. Because my surgery was so early, I was kind of lucky because no one was really there, and I was like the first surgery of the day. So I was probably waiting in the waiting room for like 15 minutes, maybe, not even. And then they took me back to get me changed into my hospital gown. You have to take everything off. Everything. Say if you have to go to the bathroom or something, like the gowns are so long that you're just gonna get tangled. I had the IV, like, so yeah, they make you take everything off. It's not awkward or anything. It's just something like I wasn't prepared for. So anyways, I changed into my hospital gown. They measured me, they weighed me, they asked me COVID screening questions again, and then they took me into, it wasn't really like a room, but it's kind of like a bed with like curtains around it. So yeah, I was just in there by myself. So 3 or 4 different nurses came in, asked me questions about the procedure, making sure I knew what I was getting done, signing forms, you know, double checking my name, my birthday, everything like that. So at that point, I had gotten my IV in, and I was kind of just waiting in that room for probably like an hour and a bit. Like I said, I didn't have my phone or anything, so I was kind of just like twiddling my thumbs, like super bored. And then the anesthesiologist came in. Again, she just asked me questions if I've ever been under anesthesia before, things like that, which I haven't. That was actually my first time being put under anesthesia, so I was a little bit nervous, but it was fine. She made me feel super comfortable. It was actually really funny. I don't know if I was nervous or what, but she had asked me my height. And I'm 4'11", or 4'10", 4'11", and I had told her I was 5'11", and when I told her that, she like kind of looked me up and down like on the bed, and she was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm positive." And she was like, "It's okay, sweetie, like it's fine, I'll just look at your chart." And I was like, "Okay." And like I kind of thought it was weird, but then I was like, nah, whatever. And then Dr. Cratchton came in. He did all the final markings on me, the lines, everything like that. He left. The anesthesiologist came back in, and I was thinking about it like the whole time, and I realized that I told her I was 5'11", not 4'11". So as soon as she came back in, I was like, oh my God, I think I told you I was 5'11", but I'm 4'11". I'm sorry. I don't know if I was nervous, but I'm 4'11". And she was like, I thought so. I'd never want to question any of my patients. And so she was laughing. So she was the one that actually rolled me into like the operating wing. So she rolled my bed right outside of the door. And I remember a couple days before the surgery, my aunt was telling me, don't look at the operating room when you go in, just like look at the floor or look at the bed. Like just don't try and look at any of like their tools or their instruments or anything like that. So once I was walking in, that's basically what I did. I can't even tell you what the room looked like. All I was looking at was the bed, and then there was like a big light above me. So I laid down on the bed. Anesthesiologist came over. She put a mask over me. This is like, in my mind, this is all like one motion, like me laying on the bed and her putting the mask on me and everything like that. So it was actually pretty seamless. So I laid down, she put the mask over, and I probably took about 6 breaths, and then I was out like a light. Best sleep of my whole life. So the surgery was scheduled for either 160 or 190 minutes, so almost 3 hours. The doctor did say that they spent the majority of the time on my right side because it was bigger, so the skin was thinner, and then this side was smaller, so it took less time. Yeah, the surgery was almost 3 hours, so I went in at around 8, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah, was almost about 3 hours, and then I woke up at around 1:30. So once I finally woke up, they had put that that sports bra that I told you guys I bought from Walmart. So I wore that, and that's actually the bra that they put on you once the surgery is done. So I woke up with that already on, and then there was bandages, and then I also had drains as well, which I'll go into in a minute. So once I actually woke up, it was about 1:30, and I was just super confused because the last time I had looked at the clock, it was like 8 or 8:15, and then it was suddenly 1:30, so that kind of tripped me out. And then as soon as I woke up, like immediately, like as soon as my eyes opened, you guys, I threw up. Anesthesia does make some people throw up or make them nauseous, some worse than others, but I immediately threw up. And it was kind of gross because I had my mask on, so it didn't really have anywhere to go. Sorry, that's probably TMI. Anyways, so once that happened, the nurse was like, oh great, you're awake. Just keep moving your like hands, clenching them, you know, releasing them. Keep moving your toes, wiggling them around, keep wiggling your legs, just to make sure that, you know, the feeling has come back to your entire body. All I remember from waking up, honestly, is the fact that I was so tired. Like I could not keep my eyes open for the life of me. I was so drowsy. My eyes felt so heavy. Like keeping my eyes open was the most difficult thing in the world at that moment. So the nurse saw me like, you know, drifting back off to sleep, and she was like, no, 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 you need to wake up. You got to stay awake. You got to stay awake. Once I woke up, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes after waking up, the nurse then went through how to change my drains. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the actual breast reduction procedure, once you get your boobs reduced, everything is very tight, and there's going to be a lot of extra like fluid and blood and things like that. So depending on, I think it depends on how small you go, or maybe it just depends on your body. I'm not really sure, because I know there's 2 different ways to go about this. The first way is getting drains, and the second way is not getting drains. But then after your surgery, at your first follow-up appointment, they will have to put a syringe in and syringe out the extra fluid. So again, I'm not really sure what determines which one you get, but I had drains. So basically what drains are is they're inside of you, and there's tubes coming out. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, okay. So they're inside on either side, and then there's tubes coming out, and there's 2 little like clear, almost like bags kind of, And so all the extra fluid drains into those little pouches or bags, and then you have to empty them every couple hours. So basically the nurse was showing me how to properly empty the drain. I had to log everything on like a chart. So she was basically walking me through how to do that. And like I said, at the time, I could not keep my eyes open for the life of me. So then she was like, okay, sweetie, your turn. Show me how to change your drains. And I was like, ma'am, I can't keep my eyes open. How do you want me to take this test right now? Anyways, so I guess I walked her through it and she was satisfied with my performance. And she was like, okay, you ready to go? And I was like, okay, cool. So I got up, and as soon as I got up from the bed, I felt like throwing up again, but I didn't, thankfully. They helped me get dressed. They put me in a wheelchair. They wheeled me down to the entrance where my mom was waiting, and then that was basically it. My mom took me home, and then the recovery is a whole different story. So that's basically it, guys. That was basically my entire breast reduction journey, the process, everything like that. So I hope that this helped some of you if you're thinking about getting this surgery done, gave you some insight. Like I said, I am gonna film a part 2 to this. It kind of goes more into detail about the recovery, which I think is gonna be really helpful to you guys, because a lot of the videos that I watch made the recovery seem like it was a walk in the park, but my experience personally, it was not. So yeah, if you guys have any specific questions about the surgery or recovery, anything like that, just leave them down below and I'll go through them and answer them in part 2 to this. Or like if you guys follow me on Instagram and you have any specific questions that maybe you just want to DM me, just do that and I will reply to you in a DM. But yeah, guys, that is basically it. Let me try and show you quickly kind of what my side profile looks like now, because you guys are probably curious. I think in the thumbnail I put like a before and after, but I'll try and show you guys now just so you have like an idea. So this is kind of what they look like from the side, and I'm not wearing any bra right now, and they are up. They are up and living their best life. Like I said, they are still a little bit swollen, but yeah. So that's gonna be the end of this video, you guys. Happy New Year. I hope 2021 is better for all of us, to be honest. I hope you guys are staying safe and you had a happy holiday. I will see you guys in part 2 to this, and until next time, bye babes.